Irvingman! In today's episode, Perry White resigned as editor of The Planet and opened an ice cream shop that he called Perry White Scoop. What? Perry White resigned from the Daily Planet after he invented a better type of backhoe that he called Perry White Scoop. What? You never know what you're going to see making its way into the Daily Planet building. Or at least trying to. You probably noticed that this kind of thing is so commonplace, nobody batted an eye at gunshots ringing out on the street. Just another, hey Joe, duck your head, day in Metropolis.
Quincy. Quincy, we've got it. Go on, man, go on.
Quincy was a successful drama show about a medical examiner. Wait, that didn't happen until 1976. Then I don't know what it means. Perry is determined to find out. He's been lecturing Clark and Lois about how a real reporter stays with the story and especially doesn't depend on Superman to get him out of jams all the time. This is the perfect opportunity to show them how it's done.
The man in the diving suit before his death made startling and important disclosures to Perry White, editor of the Daily Planet.
Well,
did he?
he said Quincy.
That's a startling and important disclosure?
In itself, no. But the killer or killers don't know what the poor devil said. All they know is what they read in the paper, and I write the paper.
He's using himself as bait to draw them out. He's not suspicious at all. I feel like I'm watching an early live-action version of Spy vs. Spy.
I tell you, this Perry White rented a diving suit from the same company. I trailed him there. That diver must have talked.
He wants to kill Perry White, but his partner in the chair keeps saying no. She seems to be the smart one because Perry is a much higher profile target than a nameless diver. That's Max, our lead villain, though if you age him by about 10 years, you have Dr. Hamilton from the 20th Century episodes of It's About Time. Either way, he's not the brightest flame in the candelabra.
John DeVries was killed while resisting arrest because he delayed long enough to hide the information for me. The diver was next. I am superstitious, Max. 3 is bad luck.
The lady with the bad French accent is Maria, which is a Spanish name. The French form would be Marie. I'll let that slide. Her real name was Bibbs Borman. At least that's the name she did 3 bit parts under and nothing else. I wasn't able to find any more information about her, which leads me to believe it was a stage name and she never told anyone her real name. One website lists her net worth as $1.2 million, but where that figure came from is anybody's guess. And speaking of figures, I wonder what it was like to have a 12-inch waist.
I don't think you ought to do this, Chief. Remember what happened to that other diver?
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Olson. If you want a story, you've got to go out and get it.
You have to fit into the suit first, and you won't go out and get it very fast in that thing. Among other things, the boots have huge, heavy copper weights on them to help the diver stay on the bottom. But Jimmy and the others are more concerned about the fact that the suit isn't bulletproof.
Oh, where's that helmet?
Be right up, Chief. Oh, it seems to be a little bent, though.
I can never get that thing over my head.
Oh, I don't know.
Olson, take that thing down to the shop and have them straighten it. You'll have to take the whole blasted thing to get it fitted.
You better let me do it, Chief. I'll have it fixed in a jiffy. Here, let me help you off with that.
That's one way to keep Perry safe from himself, and I think Jimmy just called his boss a pinhead. This guy is just a hired goon. He gets his orders by phone and his payment by post office box. They won't learn anything useful from him, but he will have a long time to think about what he's done. Let's see, call it 2 months for the trial, another 3 months for an appeal or 2. After that, maybe 3 weeks to prepare the electric chair. Yeah, that's a lot of time to ponder it. Lois has figured out that Quincy is a phone exchange. That was a thing when I was very young. Have you ever wondered why your phone dial or button pad or whatever had letters on it? Exchanges are the answer. phone numbers had a 2-letter prefix that identified the exchange. For example, my first number was HO26704. The mnemonic for it was Howard, so Howard 26704. My family moved to a different exchange when I was 7, and now we were in the Granite Exchange. Prefix was GR, so my number was Granite 70681. And you've probably noticed why this was pointless. To dial the exchange, you had to dial the numbers on the phone dial that corresponded to those letters. HO came out 46, while GR came out 47. Not long after we moved, the phone company, there was only one, Bell Telephone, dropped the letter prefixes and went to all numbers. So now our number was 4770681, which is what it was all along. We just used a different device to remember it. If you're looking at your phone's dialing screen right now, you may or may not be able to see what's wrong with Lois's conclusion that Quincy is a phone exchange. Look closely at this one. First one to tell me what's wrong with this picture vis-a-vis Lois's statement, I'll pin the comment.
Now we know that Quincy is a phone district, right? We call the phone company and find out the area of that district. Then you, bearing in mind the fact that diving was connected with Quincy, make a list of every possible place where a diver could be used in that area.
Except there are no significant bodies of water in that exchange, so she's stumped. There is, however, a large athletic club with a pool. Perry and Clark will go undercover and see what they can find there.
Well, here we are.
Hey, you can use a workout. Been sitting around too much. Got to get out and get some exercise.
I resemble that remark. He just blocked the door to the pool with a huge barbell. When they ask, he says it's empty and being cleaned. Clark manages to sneak in for a look, and sure enough, the guy's telling the truth. It's empty.
I brought you a visitor, gentlemen.
Do you refer to the goon or the gun? They stick Clark and Perry in the steam cabinets and turn them up full blast. These also used to be a thing, and this is why they aren't anymore. Those things were dangerous. You're locked in, no way to undo the latch from the inside, no safeguards. Unless you can do that, you're stuck in the thing until either someone lets you out or you die of dehydration. Clark saves Perry and starts giving him water from a nearby water cooler. And the water cooler gives Perry the answer.
The water supply on top, like the water supply in this water cooler, runs down into the cup. To fill this pool in there could be a water tank on top of this building.
If the building is old enough that it was using that method before a municipal water supply was established, it's likely the tank is still there and they use the city water to fill it and keep it ready, because a water tank like that can have a nice big outlet and fill the pool quickly, rather than having to wait for a faucet that pours water out of a 2-inch pipe at most.
Give me go up there and see if you can spot anything inside.
Yes, sir. It's full, Mr. White.
What we're looking for is probably on the bottom. Well, don't stand up there doing nothing. Go downstairs and turn on the pool release.
There's about 2 feet of water left, Mr. White, but it's going down slowly.
Go on, get in, get in.
Like this?
A little water never hurt an old-time reporter. You'll dry.
Ow! And watch where you're throwing those things! Ow! Jimmy, go up there. Jimmy, come down and go downstairs and do the thing. Jimmy, come back here and go up there. Jimmy is in a Zelda game. And his reward for completing all the tasks is a fish. It can transform your pet into a creeping widow for 300. Crap, wrong game.
Max, answer that. See who it is.
Well, you have guests, Maria. And welcome ones, I hope.
Welcome as the plague.
Maria has been watching all this. Now they're all watching.
It's inside the tank, Lynch. Just before the police closed in on John, he phoned me. He tried to tell me. He did not have the time. All I heard was, on the club on the roof, inside the tank.
That's why Maria took this apartment, to keep an eye on the tank.
Why didn't you go over there and check it out? According to what everybody has said, this DeVries guy was the only one who knew it was there, and he's dead. Are you watching for him to come back for it?
And that's why you hired the diver. We planned to smuggle him up there, but he heard too much and got frightened.
It's plot exposition. It has to go somewhere.
And when he got frightened, he went straight to the Daily Planet, not the police, and didn't even bother to take off his diving suit first. If this guy really was a commercial diver, I'm guessing he was brand new and this was the first job he's had. Just because the helmet is shaped like it is doesn't mean you have to act like a bubblehead. They're calling it a goldfish, though I'm reasonably sure it's a koi. But there's no need to quibble about that. This thing has a band on it. Who bans such a common fish? John DeVries, that's who. That band is what everybody's looking for.
They found the large goldfish John had in the aquarium.
John was smart, Maria. No wonder we could never find anything when we searched his apartment. But exactly how did he hide the secret?
He hid it inside that band, and Jimmy just found it.
WSKLIKHSF. It looks like it's code of some sort.
Let me see it, Jimmy. Code used to be a hobby of mine. This should be a cinch unscramble. It says car 763-792 East Yard. Must be the railway yard.
Now our villains don't have to worry about the fish. They'll just follow these guys.
Kent, I want to scoop every paper in town on this. You go back to the office and write up what's already happened. Olson and I'll meet you down at the yards later.
Well, now, wait just a minute. What if those pot shotters and gym characters come back?
Oh, we'll take care of them, won't we, Olson?
Oh, sure, we can handle it. Come on.
The fish spent the rest of his days swimming around that tank and wondering how he got mixed up in all this.
Look, Chief.
What's that?
Why, it's only paper.
Use your heads, gentlemen. What kind of paper would unscrupulous people be willing to kill for? There's no pandemic yet, so you can rule out toilet paper. The great reporter Perry White can't figure it out. Lynch will have to explain it to him, at gunpoint.
You see the threads running through it? They're silk threads. You're looking at the finest banknote paper ever made outside of Washington.
Make all that into $20 bills and you have more money than you can ever spend. Not that the knowledge will do them any good.
Max got the last one.
Very well. Gentlemen, will you step inside the car? You too, Max.
You heard him.
You won't mind joining them, Maria.
Bingham spreads gas all over the place. Lynch lights it and locks the door, and I don't know why Maria and Max are surprised. Lois and Clark are on their way to the railroad yard to see what Perry and Jimmy have found.
It's those two from the gym. You stay here.
Lois, you better get help.
Good thing his hat didn't fall off, or he could have been seriously injured. When they're not looking, he rolls under the car out of sight. You realize the planet is going to have to pick up the tab for that boxcar. Maria is unconscious, but there's still Max to deal with. Never mind.
Superman, will you do me a great favor?
Most certainly.
Don't let Clark Kent know I had to depend on you to save us.
Well, don't worry, Mr. White. He'll never learn about it from me.
We all grin and chuckle and go get a snack while the credits roll and the commercials follow. I don't know about you, but I did not see the paper thing coming. The fact that they were all counterfeiters was hidden well enough that when the reveal came, it was a genuine surprise. The trail of breadcrumbs was believable and interesting once I got past the idiot diver. No truly professional diver would do that. For one thing, the suit's too cumbersome. For another, it could get damaged very easily. Divers tend to take meticulous care of their equipment. And this suit was a rental, so he'd be likely to take even better care of it because he doesn't want to have to buy it. So it was kind of a shaky start, but once the story got going, I more or less forgot all about it. Well done. Thanks for watching, kids. And remember, clicking that like button is cool. Subscribing is even cooler. Leaving a comment is as cool as the coolest person you know. And becoming a patron makes you almost just like Superman. So don't hesitate. Do it today. Until next time.